Hi, my name is Baskar Narayanan. I live in the Seattle area in the United States. I work for the tech industry. I thought I'd share a little bit about my introduction to Carnatic music. It goes back to late 1970s. I would say all of 80s as well. My dad used to come back from work and I would see him getting glued onto television. I would see him watch on the television a group of folks who are sitting on a stage, and some of them doing vocal and others playing instruments. I've heard the word kacheri. He used to engross himself into it. I don't think he realized there were people around him, but in some ways, I would say he was electromagnetized by it. Yes, he was an electrical engineer and he used to work in a nuclear power plant. Later on, you come across South Indian devotional songs. Probably those were Carnatic, but at least I didn't know about it then. You would hear them sometimes at home, on the radio, sometimes on the street. Sometimes there's a festival, sometimes in the temple, and there are other times when I used to go in a bus for a long, long journey, and you hear these devotional songs being played, and they eventually fade away as you go one town through another town. But every one of those times, I still can remember it gave me a bit of happiness. I wasn't sure how to describe it then, but it continually kept on hitting you. I'm going to fast forward to about a year ago. I come to hear of this introductory class, an online class, and it was called something like The Joy of Music, a gentle introduction to ragams. I was very intrigued by it. I said, I'm going to go at least listen to it to see what this class is about. That's my first time I see Balaji. And Balaji, he's playing instrumental vocal stuff. And all he was trying to see is how do we feel about it? I still vividly remember there was one time where I cheered up listening to them. And I was like, not sure what's going on because I found that was a moment where I had that inner peace, that joy. And then yet I'm tearing up. And I said, I really want to understand more. Why is this happening to me? Since then, every week I've signed up to this online class with Balaji. I would say the journey has been fascinating, the journey has been fulfilling. The thing that I did not know anything about, except for I've heard a few ragam names, but no way to know which ragam is what. But the ability for me now to understand the construct of things that are behind a Carnatic music performance, it gives more meaning and depth as I listen to these things every time. Another thing that I find even more fascinating is that there has been layers and layers of abstraction that has grown over many, many centuries. And I sincerely hope that this way of learning is something that I continue for a very long time. One other thing that as I go through these weekly classes is Balaji's ability to make that connection between Carnatic music and the things that you see in nature. And that makes it even more powerful. And I would say something that I would love to be even more connected with it. Another thing is those weekly quizzes that Balaji gives. Those quizzes, you do it, but Balaji definitely sees it is for him to understand how good of a job has he done to explain specific ragams. I might end with one last thing, probably a bit somber, hopefully not too somber. First, I should thank my parents who had passed on some form of listening skills to Carnatic music in me. And I want to go more than where my dad used to be. I don't think he knew what those ragams were, but I guess at the end of the day, one doesn't have to know about those things. But if he was around, I would have asked him if he would join me together to go to this class with Balaji, because I'm pretty sure we would have had the joy of music together and we would have shared a lot of notes. I sincerely hope you find my experiences that gives you an insight of what you might expect in this particular class. And there are certain things that you are always aspiring that you do them until your last breath on this planet. And to me, this certainly feels as one such. So, if you have an interest in listening to Carnatic music or you already have one and you want to go a little more into it, I would highly encourage you to take this class. I wish you all the best and thank you.